welcome back to Edmonton. I think you seem to like it here. It's not your first time here.
I love it here. I really do. We've been fortunate actually on the Carry tour, the Carry Under with the Blown Away tour last year. We got to spend a couple days actually off here and explore, which is always when you really get to fall in love with the place. I mean, when you're here on tour, you're here for 12, 14 hours, whatever. You load in, you do the show, and you got to leave, right? You got another show the next day. So it's always nice to spend some extra time, and we have. For the awards too, we were here for a couple days, and yeah, I kind of have an attachment to the place now, especially since last night we got to see Bublé, Michael Bublé, and I've got some memories in this beautiful place, yeah.
Yeah, and you're here today to meet your fans, and I guess I know that obviously most successful musicians have a connection with their fans. Do you enjoy meeting your fans, because it can get a little overwhelming sometimes?
Oh, it's phenomenal, beautiful, brilliant, it's perfect. It's all those things and so many more. No, that's the best part about it. That's the best feeling in the world. That connection. That's what we should look for. That's why you get the bus. I mean, you love making music, yeah, absolutely, but it means something when you get to make a connection with someone you've never met, right? And you suddenly feel like you know each other because you've shared experiences or you've shared the story. You sort of both feel all those things going on, in those songs and in life in general. That's what music does, and that's why I think that's the best part about making music, Yeah, absolutely.
Then you've announced it that you're going to meet your fans, unlike in Nashville where you decided to surprise, right? So that's a little different.
Yeah, the surprise show. I don't know, I love that, and I love shows like what we're going to do tonight because it's so, it's not as rehearsed, I love that stuff, I love production, right, I love lighting, video, and stage stuff, all the fancy stuff, but it is nice to turn a 180 every now and then and just completely change the story, because that's when real moments happen, that's when you discover the most. I mean, these are the moments where you come up with ideas for the stuff that you're going to rehearse and build and design, so and this is the best part, too, about the show, the thing that we work the hardest, I think, to include in the show, is the intimacy of being able to just joke with the person 3 rows in, and just to mess around and just to have fun, be goofy, and feel alive in that sense, and not feel scripted, not feel too bound to a designed show. It's to just kind of let loose, right? And that's what shows like tonight are really sort of just the best for. The best thing for that part of your spirit to just let go, Yeah.
Yeah, no one really knows what to expect, right? And that's the thing,
right? Exactly.
Yeah, and when you were in Nashville to do that surprise thing, I mean, was that fun just to see the look on people's faces when you come out? I mean, is that you still get that must be a fun part of what you can do in your job?
I was just stoked somebody showed up because I mean, if you think about it, that's CMA. We were downtown. There's so much going on. There's so many shows that you can see. And I was absolutely stunned with the turnout that we had at that surprise show. And yeah, it was a blast. It was really fun. Getting to just jam with the fans, man.
Yeah, and you've and what about doing like 700 shows in 3 hours or whatever it was? Was it a world record? Tell me about that. And obviously, it was a good cause behind it, but
yeah.
That must have been an experience.
It is a Guinness World Record, which means no one's ever done this. Yeah, I'd seen the Flaming Lips last year, and I was actually opening for one of their shows on their attempt to break, and they did. They set the Guinness World Record for the amount of shows performed in different cities in 24 hours. And they did eight shows in 8 different cities, 24 hours. And the shows have to be a certain amount of space apart, right? Mileage-wise, somebody has to show up, and you have to play more than one song, right? And I just remember thinking how brilliantly fun that would be. And so, talked to the team about it, all that good stuff. And long story short, the team started putting it all together, and the next thing I knew, I was halfway joking, but I was halfway serious when I told the team about it. I was kind of trying to get a vibe for if they thought it was possible. And sure enough, they put the whole thing together, and next thing we knew, we were like, getting the tour book in or the whatever. We were talking about it. It got real. It got real quick. And it was a blast. I think we were all expecting to be completely out of energy, like we were But the whole time I think we were expecting it to be really like stressful because there's a lot. We had 8 buses, a lot of people moving from venue to venue. We had to cover 10 cities in 24 hours. We were so far, and this is a testament to the team. We were so far ahead of schedule. We almost scheduled an 11th show, which I'm kind of glad in hindsight that we didn't. But it was so much fun. Got to work with a campaign that we've gotten to work with several times. Child Hunger's here, raising awareness about a hunger issue in the States. So it all kind of came together in a beautiful way. It was so much fun. I kind of want to do it again.
Yeah, because I was kind of thinking about like show number 7. You'd be like, wow, I am regretting this decision, right?
Yeah. No, show number 7. I had vowed to not drink coffee or not rely on coffee or energy drinks or anything like that for the shows for that whole day.
So it's just ballads.
Take a little, I took little cat naps, and the other thing too was I didn't realize that I jump around a lot on stage and I sweat a lot. And I didn't realize that I had a couple changes of clothes. Literally, I had to change in between every show, and that was a testament to just how much fun it was. We were all just jumping around having fun, and it got to about 1:30, right, the third to last show, and I realized that, okay, I'm not going to be able to take any more naps, because if I do, I'm going to fall asleep. It's going to be like for real, like I'm going to be out for 12 hours. So, we held on, and we had so much fun. It was delirious. It was brilliant, though, man. It was absolutely brilliant. One of my favorite memories, easily, one of my favorite moments in my career, period, ever.
Yeah. You could probably do that more when you're young, I'm guessing. You're not going to try to re-break it when you're...
more while I've got the energy to, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and never be afraid of doing something different. Dare to be something more.
And the new album, is it a mix of excitement and also there's some pressure because people are always wondering about, what your follow-up's going to be,
Yes.
What do you have to say, and especially being young, I mean, do you feel that, there's maybe a little more to prove sometimes?
I think I heard that pressure thing so much that it got to a point where it kind of stressed me out. Because I worry about everything. I think a lot of people don't know that about me, but I worry constantly about everything, the stupidest things. And that drove me to worrying about the next record. I did not want this record to suffer from feeling the pressure or the time frame that everybody says you don't have to make the record. And I worked so hard to sort of counter that, right? Writing as much as humanly possible, locking myself in the studio and not allowing myself to do anything else for that amount of time, which was kind of hard. All we wanted to do was go on the road, but I'm really proud of the results, and I'm really happy with kind of how it all came together, because it was an honest effort of finding new things. There was nothing about it that was like, well, we did this last time and it worked really well. It was a lot of just like, no, let's try it. Let's waste time on it if we have to find something. Let's spend 75% of our time having no clue where we're going to end up, and 25% of the time feeling good about about it, or bad about it, or learning from it. Yeah, it's all about the adventure. It's all about the discoveries. It's all about doing something for the sake of finding something brand new. You have to.
And do you think pressure that helped in some regard, having that? You know what I mean?
I think I don't. You know what? I don't want to give it any credit, but sure, I think it did. I think you have to. Actually, one of my favorite lines in a movie, which I actually can't even remember, but it had something to do with the fact that you credit the things that you really. Things like pressure, things like those nerves, all those things that I worry about. I don't want to give that credit, you know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is that's what shapes you, that's what builds you into what you're going to become, and I think that can be said about the record.
I love the line you're going to say is, I'll be back, would be your next record to
Right.
be coming up, right? So, which is sort of how it is.
Totally missed that.
Yeah. And coming to, and you will be back, obviously, coming to Big Valley in the summer, and your thoughts on coming and playing the premier outdoor country festival here.
Well, I just actually realized this morning that we were headlining, because I had no idea. I legitimately had no idea.
Did you think you were like in the beer gardens, or?
I don't know. I don't know.
So yeah.
Just like an acoustic gig. Yeah, I'm really excited about it, because we've actually redesigned the show for the summer specifically for outdoor shows, and so the fact that we're going to be able to bring that and do that, a lot of new music, a lot of stuff off the storyline, and just a lot of energy too. The storyline has a lot of energy on it, which is kind of surprising. I think I wanted that. I didn't mean to do that. I would have meant to do that, apart from the fact that that would have applied an agenda to the record, so I ignored that. But it happened anyway, which is I'm happy about. So, so I think the show is gonna, the show already has benefited from that. It's just as much fun. It's more fun than it's ever been. I'm running around, jumping around, you know, completely out of breath the entire show, and that's the fun of it.
And are you finding that, you know, I mean, you're a young guy, I think you're attracting a young audience and stuff, but I mean, I think it's obviously safe to say you have mass appeal. Do you just go out and play, or do you sort of think that, you know, young people would like this, or do you overthink kind of, you know, your show, or you just sort of do what you do?
It's an interesting question. I'm famous for overthinking things. Not necessarily those things that way, but I'm famous for overthinking things. And I've noticed myself this summer making a lot of really last-minute, just like feeling decisions. You know, 2 nights ago there was a show that we were playing, and I was out watching the other shows, and I was like, man, there's this one song we had just taken out of the set, and I was like running around. I saw the set list, my guitar tech came up, and I was like, you know what? Let's add this in here. We haven't done this in a while. Let's do that. You know, and things like that. You just gotta let those things happen. I'm learning how to just let the feeling take control and not the thinking process, because you can overthink. It's very easy for me, especially, to just overthink to the point where it's just like it's obnoxious.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
But it seems like, I mean, and not to go back again to your age, but it seems these are things, kind of more mature things. I mean, you played all the instruments on your record. You know, you write so much, you think so much. You seem very in control of what you're doing and stuff. And is that sort of more, I guess, needed today? Do you think? I guess you didn't know what was in the past, but I mean, showing up and playing maybe doesn't do it anymore. You seem pretty hyper aware of where your career is and what needs to be done. Eh?
I appreciate that. That makes me feel really cool right now. I don't know. I don't know if I can really have an answer for that, I guess. I'm obsessed with all the different parts of it. I'm obsessed with the production. I'm obsessed with the arrangements on the record, right? The production on the record and the production live, the show itself. And I'm obsessed with everything else about it, too, everything else around it. That's how I've always been. I mean, you're talking to a guy who drew set design in the side of his notebooks when he was in high school and middle school, and you know, finally getting to do all that stuff, and it's an extension of the music too. I think that's part of it. I don't think it's as much of a control freak thing as it is just like, if I get the chance to have a creative sort of hand in those parts of the music as well, why wouldn't you? You know?
Yeah. Good. Well, continued success to you for sure. And you call him, we're having a battle of the camera guys here. So there you go. You got your own camera guy.
It's intense.
Absolutely. So, and you're just filming.
This is only half of what he normally brings.
Yeah.
This is his really small setup.
And was it just, are you just filming me here?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it, right, yeah.
I told him to make sure he got
absolutely, yeah, for sure. Is that a documentary going to be, or what's that going to be? Or just...
It's our weekly documentary. It's our documentary called, it's actually not a documentary called For the Love of Music, because I've just been informed that apparently that was a thing. But I, a couple years ago, started doing webisodes, and I couldn't keep up because I was editing it myself, and I suck at it. But this dude here, Brandon, has been doing essentially the weekly version, the documentary called, we call it For the Love of Music because it's about everything that happens behind the scenes, but how it really is all about the music. That's not just a script, that's not just a saying. Like, it sounds really annoying, I know, because like I say it a lot, but it's kind of true.
Yeah, but for you it'd be good because it wouldn't be a lot of you just napping and, you know, playing Xbox. Like, I mean, you do lots of stuff, right? So that's what it is.
We do a